So there was a Delta flight that took flight out of Atlanta, Georgia, to go to Barcelona, Spain. Shout out. There was a guy on that flight that had the worst diarrhea stomach pains that apparently have ever been seen. Dang. So they got 2 hours into this transatlantic flight, and they had to turn the wheel around with communications to the head tower going, we're turning around for a medical emergency. And they're like, okay, do we need EMT on site? Do we need a defibrillator? What do we need? And he's like, no, it's doo-doo spewing from his butthole is why we have to turn around. He didn't even make it to the bathroom. He spewed doo-doo in the plane before he got to the toilet. So of course they had to spin the plane 2 hours out, by the way. So it's 2 hours back, clearly, with doo-doo just filling the plane. I would have pushed this dude out the emergency exit. Anyway, we have to now get back. He has to get off the flight. They have to bring in hazmat teams because it's considered a toxic spill, as funny as it sounds. They had to clean the doo-doo. And, of course, they got off the flight. The guy got on the next flight a day later and went to Barcelona. Everything's gravy. But this is why I like this story personally. What exactly would be Liam or Matt's response if there was, without kids, we're going to take the kids out of it, right? Just you and your girl, or you by yourself. If my daughter's on the plane, I'm beating you to death in front of her. Anyway, I don't care if your stomach has pains. What do you do if a dude doo-doos everywhere?
Liam, I think it's you got to be sympathetic. Would you agree?
Yeah, the one of us has to leave. You know what I mean? And if he already crapped everywhere, then I got to go sit, I don't know. I know in the aisles is a safety thing. Then I guess the stewardesses have little seats and everything. I got to think they have at least one more. I'm hanging with the stewardesses the rest of the flight. There's no way you can make me sit next to that, dude. It's a health hazard.
Absolutely not. Plus, I mean, how bad, was the bathrooms occupied, or was he just too far away, or was the seatbelt light on? How does he not make it into the bathroom or even near it where he's just leaving a trail? Also, what did he eat that this is happening?
Agreed.
Right? I would love to know, I stopped and got,
curry.
the airport shrimp salad special or something.
I had airport sushi. Yeah. Come on, cuz. Now, here's the thing. I agree with you big time, Matt, with the sympathetic thing, right? Maybe he couldn't make it to the bathroom. It was a real issue, right? But my thing is, I'm riding shotgun after this, like Liam said. Hey, co-pilot, I know you really don't do shit because there's an autopilot. You go back with the doo-doo, boy. I'm going to ride up front because I can't breathe back there. At least drop down the oxygen masks we're going to crash so I can breathe through that because I can't smell doo-doo. They were 2 hours over the ocean. You still had a 2-hour flight back when they called off the dogs.
Plus two, they're going to Spain, you said, right?
Yeah, how far is Spain?
11 hours.
Right, so that makes sense. I was about to say that.
Hours.
So that makes sense why 2 hours in, they pulled the plug and rolled back.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Okay.
Could you imagine 9 more hours?
Yeah. Nope.
No.
I need the mask. Drop the mask.
So when you hear about this stuff, am I the only one? When I get on a plane, I'm sure when that one's a really long flight. But if the flight isn't insanely long, dude, I'm not eating. If I'm drinking, it's just a little bit of water before I get on or something. I don't know. I skip all that because I'm trying to avoid
because you're a good human.
Use the bath,
Dude, right. If it's a long flight, though, like that, they feed you. Depending on the airline, but most of the times it comes with 2 meals. You know what I mean? Or maybe 2 meals and a snack or something, but they usually feed you on those long flights.
Right.
But yeah, I think if it's 2 hours in, this guy had already
pull the plug.
Yeah, he already had gotten something to eat at the airport, and that's what did it in. And dude, I mean, that if that's the case, that's brutal, man. Absolutely.
And remember,
brutal.
I had a 5-hour flight out to Washington in the lost episode. I had to sit next to an Antifa band member that brought his skateboard onto the plane. And he had the gloves that had no fingers, and it was in September. I'm like, dog, we left out of Philly. Why do you have gloves and your skateboard on here? I don't know. You're going to bust a kickflip when we land. Put that bad boy in the I was so annoyed. I couldn't believe. I wish I had the doo-doos when he was on there because I just would have turned and pointed and doo-dooed directly on his skateboard and his Antifa gloves.
Dude, I can't. I mean, yeesh. Yeesh. 1000% yeesh.
Now, last thing before we move on. Do you think anybody gets a voucher for that? Everyone on the plane? Do you get a voucher? Do I get a free flight somewhere?
Yeah.
Am I compensated?
I mean, if people still have to go to Spain, they probably had like a connecting flight or like a turnaround flight or something like that, where it's like, like
They
I
dropped
wonder
him off
too.
refueled and bounced back. He had to get on another flight.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Then yeah,
Mhm.
those people all stayed on. And I don't know, maybe they did get a voucher or something like that. But man, oof. Dude, also that added an extra 4 hours to an 11-hour flight.
Ugh.
Forget about it.
Ugh.
Hey.
Especially you're like a normal human and you're in coach and you're all jammed up. Like, come
Yeah.
on,
Oh,
man.
that sounds unbearable, dude.
Come on,
Yeah,
man.
bro. Absolutely. Nice. All right. Well, let's do this. Let's keep it moving.